Morning, chamber members. Good morning to all the business community members joining us today. I have the pleasure to start today this chamber conversation with CEO of Jacksonville Transportation Authority, Nat Ford. We're a pleasure to have you this morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Isabel.
We are looking forward to hearing from you about JTA, its expansion of the transportation system in our region, but more specifically of St. Johns County. So I'm going to get us starting right off the bat with one question. As St. Johns County continues to grow and new residents and the industry relocating in our county, we know that the demand for public transportation will grow. And this summer, JTA expanded its services into St. Johns County with the new St. Johns Express Select service. Can you tell us more about this service?
Sure. And again, thank you for the invitation, Isabel. And let me commend you and your staff for the great work that you're doing in St. Johns County, making it a great place to live, work, and play, especially during this pandemic. And I hope you and your family are all safe. COVID-19 has brought us a lot of challenges on a personal and business level. We haven't been immune, but thankfully we've been proactive and we have been able to, in spite of this pandemic, to expand our services to include St. Johns County. And so I'm proud of the relationship we've built with you and your organization and St. Johns County over the last couple of years. So at the JTA, we recognize that our business is much more than moving people. Our job is to help improve the quality of life for a lot of the citizens in Northeast Florida. And that is by giving them as many mobility options as possible. So during this pandemic, we have not slowed down. We've continued our work with road building and our capital projects and expanding our transportation network. And that includes the St. Johns Express Select service. We started that in July. Back in 2019, we started up the Nassau Express Select service to give the citizens of Nassau County an opportunity, another option, so to speak, to get to work in downtown Jacksonville. And that service was so successful, we immediately began planning for the next expansion, which included St. Johns County and Baker County. The Express Select service offers residents an executive style transportation option, comfortable reclining seats, modern conveniences such as complimentary Wi-Fi and USB charging ports. Excuse me. It runs every day, weekday morning except for holidays. Trips begin from the government complex at 6:20 a.m. and at 6:50 a.m. We make a stop at the pavilion at Durbin Park, and then we head to the new Jacksonville Regional Transportation Center. I think you could see that as part of my virtual background. In the afternoon, there's an afternoon trip at 5:40 p.m. that heads northbound to downtown Jacksonville. And from the JRTC, just so you're aware, you can take our Skyway into downtown or hop on one of our JTA fixed route buses or our First Coast Flyer bus rapid transit service. And the trip takes about an hour. But unlike sitting in traffic, you get a chance to spend that hour relaxing, taking a nap, or getting into your workday, being productive and getting a start to your workday. In the afternoon, to get you back home, we start our service returning from the JRTC at La Villa with a 4:25, a 5:05, and a 6:40 p.m. Trip. And one-way cash fare is $3, but through the MyJTA app, you're able to purchase a one-day pass for $5. And so we're very excited to present this option to Northeast Florida, to St. Johns County residents, and for Duval County residents who may be commuting in the other direction, in the opposite direction.
Yes, that is fantastic to have this opportunity and the cost efficient also for the riders. So we certainly appreciate that. Now tell us more about JTA's plans and goals for the St. Johns Express service in our county. How do you see it grow? And one question that we'd like to know is how can this and or future services help us grow job in our county?
You know, I think for the JTA, and hats off to our board of directors, we have a holistic approach to regional growth of our transportation network. Clearly, it's based on demand and the value that we can bring to communities. I say all this all the time, and it may be a bit cliche, but one size doesn't fit all. And that's especially true for public transportation. So from our research, we know that a significant number of people commute to downtown Jacksonville from St. Augustine or from some of the new subdivisions and communities that are popping up along US 1. So from a holistic standpoint, the Express Select service makes perfect sense. Now with COVID still looming over our region, we anticipated this service to start off rather slow as it related to ridership. But when we take in consideration what success we've seen with our other regional services we started in the past, we are confident that this will be very successful in coming years. So as far as future growth is concerned, we would love to see multimodal options grow in St. Johns County as we continue this journey. This could be in the form of other express bus routes and other mobility services. And as it relates to the Express Select service, we don't want to add additional stops to that service because I think it kind of defeats the purpose of a quick commuter trip. But as demand increases, as more people board, we could see adding more service, more trips in the morning and more trips in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. Now, to the question on how the JTA can help in job growth, we think public transportation is an essential ingredient to that recipe. Businesses need reliable customers, employers need reliable employees, and all of them need an efficient way to get to their destinations. Public transportation is vital for those who do not have access to a vehicle. And then you have choice riders who prefer the reliability of public transportation and like saving wear and tear on their vehicles. So if I'm a commercial real estate developer, a large employer, or a residential developer, I see this Express Select as an added amenity for my tenants or my employees. For someone who lives in St. Augustine and works at the new Walmart or one of the restaurants at the Pavilion, this is an affordable and comfortable way to get to work and back. And if you have a leased vehicle, you might want to keep that mileage down. You can park and ride for just $3 a day. So our plan is to be part of and support St. Johns County's growth and prosperity. And we achieve that as the JTA by providing you mobility options that advance the growth and quality of life in Northeast Florida and in St. Johns County.
Well, thank you. I think transportation is so important, as you mentioned, to really bring people closer to their job in an efficient manner without having additional investment in their personal life with the vehicle or insurance and so on and so on. So yeah, it's very important. As we conclude this conversation this morning, I would like to hear a little bit more from you regarding your vision. You were the CEO of MARTA in Atlanta and then the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Authority, two of the biggest public transportation authority in our country. And not long ago, you were the chair of the American Public Transportation Association, which is the largest trade association in your industry. So briefly, tell us what is your vision and how does this line up with the current scenario we live in right now?
Well, I think you mentioned it a bit before you asked the question, which is how connected we are. And I think our business is not just simply moving people or just focusing on the day-to-day operations of our buses, our bus rapid transit network, our Skyway. It's really, our role is to give our citizens an opportunity for choice and a choice of a better quality of life and giving them that access to a better job opportunity if they desire that, to give them connectivity to healthcare and medical facilities so that they have a better quality of life based on their accessibility to healthcare. And similarly, to get that education, giving them opportunity to expand their educational opportunities. So our job is far beyond the steel and rubber tired buses that we operate. It's really about our vision to improve the quality of life for our community. This was true in San Francisco, in Atlanta, in New York, where I started my career. It has been proven time and time again. When you have reliable and safe, efficient public transportation, your citizens' options grow exponentially. It could be the difference between a new promotion or not, or getting to that doctor's appointment, as I said. And for our business community, it's a lifeline for employees and their customers. When I was chair of the American Public Transportation Association, my goal was to give our industry a shot in the arm. And instead of viewing our agencies as simply the bus company or the rail company that competes with the private sector, Uber or Lyft, we need to start becoming more global or holistic integrators of mobility, bringing those private sector partners to the table, allow them to do what they do best and connect that to our existing network to make travel easier for everyone. In fact, the Express Select service is a public-private partnership. We contract that service out to a local operator, and it lifts their opportunity to grow their business, and it allows us to focus on some of the core operation that the JTA has operated in the past and now enter into new services. So no one wins when everything is fragmented or when you need different mobile apps to get from A to B. True mobility is when it's seamless and you can easily go from one mode to the other. So when I was in San Francisco, also it needs to be progressive. And so when I was in San Francisco, I got a chance to watch a very little company at that time, and you may have heard of it. It was called Uber, and it completely upended the taxi industry. And while I was there in San Francisco, I was asked by the mayor to take over the taxi responsibilities for the taxi industry. And when we took it over, we saw the reluctance to upgrade their services, accept credit card payments, use GPSs so that we could track their locations and make them more efficient. And unfortunately, they didn't want to adapt to the emerging technologies others were starting to look at. And Uber stepped into that gap. And so fast forward today, when we look at the taxi industry and how it was disrupted, we use that, the JTA, we use those lessons as an example of how the JTA needs to continue to be progressive, look at our customers' needs and their desires and fit our services to their particular needs. So we are continuing with partnerships. We sponsor beach buggies out in Jacksonville Beach and Neptune Beach. We have Go Tuckin' in downtown Jacksonville that we sponsor and coordinate with the Regional Transportation Center for downtown mobility. We have Ready Ride, which operates in some of our less dense neighborhoods. These are all privately operated services we either directly fund or we sponsor. Our vision is to provide the mobility that this community needs the way that they need it. And so while we build our schedules, we also build these on-demand services that allow us to be very flexible in this community and provide a portfolio of transportation services. So that's my vision, that everyone has access to transportation service that they want and gets them and their loved ones where they want to go in life. And so thank you, Isabel, for this opportunity.
Well, Nat, I think you nailed it on the head. I think that there's one thing that resonated with me that you said is the possibility for residents to have a choice and to decide, and the difference that this can make for a promotion for an employee, to be able to realize, this job pays X amount of money. If I were to drive, I can't have that job. If I were to ride, I can have that job. So I think that's really important. I was raised in Europe, so I've been, my driver's license, I did not use it until I turned 22 because I did not need it. I was using the transportation system constantly, and that worked well for me, and that was my choice. And I think that it makes a big difference when you start, especially when you start your career and you're able to make those choices. So we appreciate everything that you're doing for our region. I think we're blessed to have somebody your caliber in our region and helping us grow. It is important for businesses who are looking at relocating in our region to see that we have a strong transportation system in place and that their employees will have a choice to go from their home to their place of work. So we appreciate what you do every day, and we appreciate JTA and making our community stronger overall for economic development. So thank you for joining us today.
All right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Chamber members, thank you for joining us for this conversation. There is more to come from JTA. We'll have more conversation with CEO Nat Ford in the future. I'll stay tuned and stay safe and stay tuned with the Chamber. Bye.